Hi, today I'm going to show you how to post from a general journal to a column ledger. Now I'm using the example from your textbooks, which is on page 53 and 54. So actually what in fact you'll see what is on page 54. I'm going to show you the whole process from go to woe. So you would have seen all these transactions that have been put in the general journal. Now part of the question was for you to come up with a chart of accounts, and what I've done, I've used what the book has asked you to do in terms of your chart of accounts. I've organised revenues, expenses, assets, liabilities and so on, and you also see that I've given them discrete numbers exactly like in a book, and the revenues start with 1, expenses with 2 and so forth. So I've done that, and in terms of organising my ledger, which is on the right hand side here, what you can see is that I've got my revenues, expenses, assets, liabilities and my owner's equity in that order. So how do I go about doing it? So in the first instance, now that I've got that set up nicely in order, I'm going to now post from here to here, wherever I need to go. So in the first instance, that's July the 1st. The particulars is capital because that's where the cash came from. I'm going to debit that for $20,000, and over here the balance is 20,000 DR for debit. Okay, so I've got this one ticked off, so I'm going to put that there to indicate yes, I have posted that. That's really important in our process. The credit amount goes to the capital account for 20,000, so I must find my capital account down here. Here it is, July the 1st. So where did the capital come from? It went to the bank account. That was for $20,000, but it was going to be on, or will be, on the credit side. So I've got to put down here $20,000 credit to keep track of that. So what I've done is completed that transaction, and I keep going. Advertising, $100 is on the 5th, which is July the 5th. So I'll put that in. Oops. The particulars in this case was paid for cash, debit $100, and therefore in the balance we've got 100 debit. Okay. On the bank account, I've got to enter the credit now, July the 5th. What did we pay that money for? Was for advertising, so that's my other detail. I've got to put that on the credit side for 100, okay, which makes this go down to 1900 like that, but it's a debit. You can see here that you've got to keep track of your debits and credits. I've got $20,000 credits and $100,000 credit, which means that I've still got 19,900 of debits left. So that's how this account works. So I'll put in those there. In this case, on the 7th, I received some service fee revenue. So I'm going to always deal with the debits first. So on the 7th, you'll see here that we received some money for $2,000, and that's for service fees. $2,000. So if I'm going to add that to my bank account, I'm going to get this. So I've still got a fair bit of money in my bank. There we are. Okay, now I've done that particular entry there, and I must now also enter the service fee revenue of $2,000. So that's the account up here. July the 7th, service fee revenue. So the cross-reference is bank. It's a credit item, $2,000, which is has got a credit balance of 2,000. So I've done that one as well, and I'm going to continue going down and show you how this is done. Here, drawings, $1,000. That is an owner's equity account. So down here on the 10th, so the 10th of July, the cross-reference is bank. It's $1,000. In this case it is a debit item, it's debit balance, and I've got to obviously work out the amount that I took from my bank account. So drawings, it's on the credit side, whoops, and I've got to adjust that, so that's now 20,900 in debit still. So see how this credit has reduced that down to there. So I've got to make sure that I have completed those by ticking those, and so on. This next entry, accounts receivable GG Arch, that happened on 16th of July. It related to service fees. You can see that I should debit that amount. So the balance that that person owes me is that amount. So I've done that item there, and I've got to record the service fee revenue. So I need to go up to my service fee revenue account up here, which is there, 16th of July. Service fees, there we are. No, it's not. I've got to put the cross-reference to it, which is accounts receivable GG Arch. Okay, and it's on the credit side for $3,000. So you can see now we've got $5,000 worth of credits in this account. So I've done that one now. So I'm going to stop here. You'll be able to see in the book on page 54 to see how it's all finished up. Okay, but I've given you a fair bit of a hint. How to post from a general journal into a Columnar bank account. I've shown you how to organise your chart of accounts, so it makes it easy for you to work, and hopefully that'll give you a big help to do your exercises. Thanks for listening, and I hope it's been very useful too.